You're two sets down and facing three match points. This is a situation where most people will break. What do you do? We are going to talk about what was going on in Alcaraz's head as well as Sinner's. Let's talk about the French Open final mental breakdown between Sinner and Alcaraz. Being up to sets and holding three match points, yet watching the trophy slip away, is not just brutal in tennis or in any situation in life. It's a reflection of moments where we're this close to achieve what we want and we still fall short. Um, from Jannik Sinner's loss to Carlos Alcaraz in the French Open final, I want to talk about three powerful mental lessons that can be applied on and off the court. I'm going to talk about how to work on them before they cost you probably an opportunity in a job or an opportunity at school or something important in your life. The first thing I want to pay attention is we have to learn to master the moment, not the score. Paying attention what's going in the moment, not paying attention on the goal, on the outcome. The lesson here is that being ahead doesn't mean that you're done. Being ahead doesn't mean that you're about to achieve your thing, okay, and this is over. This is not over until the very last moment, and that's when things can get away from us. That's why we have to keep the intensity. It matters because it could be in sports, in business, in relationships. A lot of people kind of loosen their grip early when they think that they're ahead. They think that they are in control of the situation, and they start playing not to lose and instead of playing to win. A lot of people believe that playing safe is enough to secure the win, and it doesn't happen like that. That's when actually fear takes over and starts controlling you. How do I work on it? Well, the first thing that we have to pay attention to is your it's training the way you're gonna think. That's a mindset training. You gotta practice staying in the point, not in the goal. Staying in the moment, not on what you want. You can use breathing techniques like box breathing. You know that helps you stay grounded and keep fighting. And also, you really, really, really want to pay attention to your self language. It's got to be positive. The way you talk to yourself, you have to mentally replay the situations from the past that were very hurtful and reflect on what else could you have done to transcend them faster, to move faster beyond the pain that they were creating or still creating on you, the way they're affecting you mentally and emotionally. What did you do to extend the period that it's hurting you? And what did you do to keep it alive and still hurting in you? Another thing that we want to do is simulate the pressure. Train with match point scenarios intensity in a take this chance or it's gone situation. So you can practice points, for example, in a sport where that's a lot. If I lose this point, I lose a match. You try to put that pressure on you. What happens if you don't do this is that you're gonna build a pattern of choking. It's gonna be easy to crack under pressure when things matter most or when things get tough. Practice the proper response under pressure to save all those almost that you probably face in the future if you don't do it before it can really affect your confidence and your self-belief. The second thing is emotional recovery is a skill. The thing that we learn from emotional recovery is that after losing match points, the ability for Sinner to reset was everything. And after you lose your chance to achieve something, that's what's important. Your mind will feel that the storm is coming, but what matters here is not the pain; it's how fast you can reset, find your calm. Assume that you gotta assume that around every corner you're gonna find problems. You're gonna find adversity. You're gonna find things that will make things difficult for you, but you have to be ready for it. You have to become familiar with it, and that's how you lose that fear response when you see it. You still be alert, but you won't be panicking. Why does this matter? Because the momentum swings. After one emotional spiral, after a missed opportunity can cost you an entire match or a year of progress. We have to learn to deal with the tides turning, and we have to be okay with it. How do I work on it? Learn on quick recovery, learn on fast resets. When you train, re, you're looking more to recover quickly after errors. That is got to be your main goal. Teach your mind not to dwell, not to stay on the past, not stay on the point. Learn, let go, move on. Learn, let go, and move on. Another thing is you want to create a mental journal of your triggers. Write down and create a mental list of what tends to tilt you emotionally. Create your reset routine. It could be again deep breaths, or physical gesture or new target focus. What happens if we don't work on it? Well, it's easy to stay stuck in the moment, and that's what will happen to you probably. And those are moments that we can change. We're mentally trapped in the past. We're mentally trapped. We're going to end up mentally trapped in a situation that we can change. And life is moving on, and your opponent is not going away. If you're not ready, you're going to be stuck. You're not going to be ready for what's happening in the moment. You got to go all in without conditions in the fight until the final bell. That's that third point. That's super important. And the lesson here is that Alcaraz didn't care that he was down to sets. He just kept swinging. He kept believing that he could come back, that he could still get back in the fight, and he just kept going and going and fighting for it. You gotta have that belief that you can do it. The fact that you're still fighting, that's gotta become an unconditional thing. I am not going to condition how much effort I'm gonna put on this. That's the only chance you have to flip the script. It matters because most people quit before it's over. Most of the times people quit before things are over, and they don't have the chance to go for that success that many times it happens just at the very last moment. How how do I work on it? You gotta be mentally tough. You gotta have that endurance mindset. Trying Training to expecting long battles, assuming that it's gonna be a long and grueling fight. It's vital that you use a proper self language to push and convince yourself that you have those skills, that you have the skills and the strength to handle the situation. It's vital that you pay attention with the kind of language that you're using to talk to yourself. You have to be able to visualize you coming back in matches. You have to be able to see yourself. You have to be rehearsed being down in the score and fighting back. You have to get to the point where you say resilience has got to become a habit. If you're a fan of a team or an athlete, watch their toughest losses. Go and watch the video. Notice how you feel, how you react. How many times that reveals how well we can handle painful emotions and work from them. Go and see something that you don't like and see how you react. That is something that is really going to give you an idea of where you're standing emotionally. What can happen if we don't work like this is that we're pretty much training ourselves to surrender early, which is the default or the standard. If you make that habit, you're always going to find a way to quit. Always. Now, as a final thought, I want to say this. Sinner didn't just lose a match. He gave us a window into the mentality that you need to survive adversity, pressure, and missed opportunities. We either build mental muscle to be steady and hold steady, or life is going to teach us that no lead is safe when our mind is not in the right place. Another thing that we can learn from Senior is that Despite the fact that he gave up 3 match points, he still found himself 6-5 up in the fifth set. So he was still able to recover and say, hey, I'm still in the fight. And even though he ended up losing it, he he lost that match by a very small margin. And that is one of the things that I always repeat about life. A lot of your wins and a lot of your losses are going to be by a small margin. By just one little thing made the difference in the end. That's a win by a small margin. And you're going to have losses that are going to be the same. Losses that it's going to cost you just because 1 point or 2 points. So many things that we are going to win and many things that we are going to lose in life, many failures and many victories are going to be by a small margin. We have to remember that. That's why it counts so much. Just a little bit more training, just a little bit more preparing, just doing a little bit more. Doesn't seem like it's really going to make a big difference in the end, but those extra minutes, extra mile that you went can really dictate what happens in the end for you. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Thank you.